Hey guys, so I'm back out at my buddy Jeremy's farm. It's Harmony Ridge Farm here in New York. And I'm going to be using the Sven Saw today because we're actually going to be clearing some brush. And I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to showcase this off. Now these guys sent me this saw, but it's actually a foldable saw that you can use for bushcraft or out in the wild. But we're going to be using this here on the farm, and I wanted to showcase some of the packaging before we start using it. So it comes kind of like this when it's shipped, tiny little label. But this is the Sven Saw. It's got some pretty cool packaging. You've got the logo and the dude that they have. This is the 21-inch blade version, and that's actually the saw right there. There's a little opening in the packaging. It's only 14 ounces. That's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna open this up and we can check it out. So you pull this off, and it actually has instructions here on how to set it up. So you've got your two pieces here, and I think the easiest way to put this together, put your blade down, and then I'm actually going to stick this on here. It actually has a little stopper right there. You stick that on, and then you put your bolt up through here. The blade will flex a little bit, and then actually just stick it there, put your wing nut on here, and then tighten it down until it feels pretty tight. Right about there. We're gonna go try out the saw. So we've got the Sven Saw here, and we've been actually clearing brush all day for some new pig paddocks, but I'm gonna have my buddy Jeremy test out the saw on this little tree here. It's a dogwood, and ultimately we want to see how well it does. It's a pretty sweet little 21-inch saw, so let's test it out. Nice and sharp, real smooth.
All right, now let's cut a little section for
Firewood.
the firewood, sure. Because I think it'll be a little easier to cut once it's not trying to fall. Cool. That was 4 inches and 25 strokes. That's about an average of 6 strokes per inch. Not bad.
I'm Jacob Schenk, and I like to make bows sometimes, among other things, but dogwood's good for bow making because you can come over here and test a live branch. It doesn't snap when I bend it. It can go pretty far before it snaps. So I use this for bows a lot. And it looks like there's a good section from here to here. It's about 5 feet.
You want to try to cut it?
Sure.
Very light. Start up here, it's easier, it's not on the ground.
And then throw that chunk underneath it down there so you don't dig into the ground.
All right, Nice, you cut through that. That was 35 strokes. One note, for safety, just in case your hand slips, you don't want your hand underneath where the teeth are. It's best to position your hand up here. Just takes out the chance of accidentally cutting yourself. All right, you're gonna cut down right about here.
No, right. Where's that one?
There you go. I found it works pretty good on pulling it back towards you, Jacob.
Oh.
Let it do the work, you don't have to push down. So instead of, yeah. I think, I'm not sure, with a lot of saws that are more dull, you have to like shove forward on the cut, but this one is so sharp that I think it cuts a lot faster just pulling back effortlessly. You don't really have to push down. I found that you just kind of let it do the work. Just let it slide. I'm not pushing down, I'm just going back and forth. Whoops, I jumped out. See, I just kind of slide it instead of pushing down. It's kind of cool. The only thing you have to be careful of is that it's so light and so sharp that you could see I accidentally pulled it right out of my cut hole. Started cutting a new one. That's cool. I've used a lot of bow saws, especially for cutting down Christmas trees. And like Jacob was doing, like trying to shove forward, they're kind of frustrating to use, but this is, once you get the balance down, like I said, you just kind of pull back and forth and it just does all the cutting. You don't have to push down any pressure or anything. And this blade is really sharp. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to be able to fold it up and just take it with you for camping.
And you can see how they heat treated all of the tips.
Oh, so
they're harder.
Like, it'll last for quite a long time, yeah.
Yeah. So there's just a real world example of putting the Sven Saw to use. I hope you guys like this video. I'm definitely going to link this in the description below. And if you guys want to check it out, go grab one. They're very inexpensive for what they offer and what they can do, especially if you guys like to backpack or overnight camp somewhere out in the willy wax where you need to cut your own firewood. This is a perfect prime tool that you can use for that. And I'm also going to link All American Maker below in the description so that if you guys want to support this channel, you can go check out everything that I have to offer. But thanks again for watching, guys. If you want to subscribe and click the bell to get notified whenever I post a new video, and have a great day.